Thank you for taking the time to watch this update from our church. I hope things are going well with you. Hope you're having a great week. As announced last Sunday, we do plan on opening up our church this coming Lord's Day, May the 24th, for inside services. This update is to lay it all out as to how things will work this Sunday. Now, I'm going to give you a lot of information here, but don't worry if you don't get it all, because we'll be placing all that I'm going to say today in written form on our website at a later time. While we are very excited about being able to have services once again, at the same time we're putting the safety and the well-being of our members foremost. We have done and are doing several things to ensure your safety as we return to church. First of all, we have installed a new system in our heating and air conditioning units which circulates air throughout our buildings. And this system is called a hydrogen peroxide infusion system. You can read about this system online, but basically what it does is, as the system runs, air passes through these hydrogen peroxide filters and then into our building, acting as a sanitizer, killing viruses, bacteria, and mold. This system has been tested both by the United States military as well as Homeland Security. This system will be beneficial to our church not only during the time of the COVID-19, but also in the coming fall and winter flu season as well. In addition to that, we have also ordered ultraviolet lights for all three of our nurseries, which will aid in disinfecting as well as killing germs and bacteria, making our nurseries safe places to once again welcome our toddlers and infants. This Sunday, however, since we do not have that in place, we will not provide nurseries for our services this Sunday. You will need to keep your children with you. Now, we realize that we just can't go back to things as normal all at once, so we're going to have to go about opening our church back up for inside services in stages. For the next few weeks, in order to accommodate our entire church family, we will be going to multiple services on Sunday morning only. Our first service will begin promptly at 8:30, and our second service will begin promptly at 10 o'clock. We have divided our auditorium into two sections. Please listen closely. If you're familiar with our church, then you'll know that on one side of our platform, we have both an organ, on the other side, a piano. On the organ side of our church, there are two sections of pews. We will call those sections 1 and sections 2. On the other side of the platform is the piano side of the church with two sections of pews, and we'll call those sections 3 and 4. This Sunday morning, May the 24th, at our 8:30 a.m. service, we will welcome those who normally sit on the organ side in sections 1 and 2 back to church. So at 8:30 this Sunday morning, if you sat on the organ side of our church, sections 1 or sections 2, that will be your time to attend, 8:30. In the 10 a.m. service, we will welcome those who normally sit on the piano side, or sections 3 and 4, back to our services once again at 10 a.m. Now, if you sit in different places each service, or if you've been recently visiting our church, then please choose the section that you normally sit in the most to mark the time when you attend. If your service time is at 8:30 this Sunday, then it will be beneficial for you to park over in the gravel parking lot or as you face the building to the left-hand side. If you are arriving for the 10 o'clock service, then it will be beneficial for you as you face the building to park in the center of the parking lot or to the right side of the building. This will aid you as you leave the service as well. Now, I cannot overstress the importance of what I'm about to say. So please listen carefully. If you've been around someone who has been diagnosed with COVID-19, or if you've been around someone who shows symptoms of COVID-19, or if you feel sick or been running a fever, please take care of yourself, but respect others by not attempting to return to church at this time. I want to say that one more time. If you've been around someone who has been infected, diagnosed with COVID-19, or if you've been around someone who shows symptoms of that, if you feel sick yourself, you've been running a fever recently, please take care of yourself, but respect others by not returning to church at this time. You know, we're taught in God's Word to care for the needs and the well-beings of our fellow brothers and sisters in God's family. One of the best ways to do that at this particular time is to stay away and not risk infecting others. Now, as you arrive at church this Sunday morning, the only way to enter the building is going to be through the glass doors in the front of the building underneath the portico. You will then be directed by our ushers as to how to enter the auditorium so that we might maintain social distancing. Once inside the building, we are going to be offering gloves and masks for all who wish to use them. We have an ample supply. If you wish to wear a mask, if you wish to wear gloves, we have those available. Now, we're not making that mandatory. That is going to be up to you, your own personal decision. But as you enter the door, there will be sections for you to attend with nurses' stations located in all 3 sections for you to stop by and pick up a mask and gloves. If you wish to bring your own mask to church, that'll be great. If you wish for your children to have masks and gloves, please walk with them to the nurses' station in your individual area to receive those at that time. Our bathrooms in both the front of the church as well as those in the cafeteria area are going to be available for use. We will periodically clean the restrooms throughout the service. The rest of our building, all on the other side of the building, will be blocked off. Please do not attempt to enter the Sunday school classes and do not attempt to enter the other side of the building. As you enter the auditorium, there'll be large containers set up at the entrances which you can place your tithes and your offerings in. We will no longer pass the plate, obviously for contact reasons. Also, we ask that once inside the auditorium that you please follow the directions and the instructions of the ushers as they direct you to your seat. We have tried to arrange our auditorium to allow for social distancing. Just a reminder, although we are glad to see you again, we highly discourage you from shaking hands for obvious reasons. The less contact that we make with others, the lesser our chances are of getting sick. We'll be making announcements regarding our Sunday evening and Wednesday evening services in our Sunday morning service this week. I want to ask you to please exercise patience and prayer as we move through this together. We know right up front there's going to be some bumps along the way, some hiccups, and obviously most of us will not get to see it where we usually see it. Please understand that going forward. But when having to see it in another place in the building, let us just be thankful that we are back together again and making small strides of getting back to at least a little normalcy in our church life. I want to thank you in advance for your patience and understanding. As I close this update, I want to speak a word to the older members of our church. You know, the one thing that has been made very clear to us throughout this pandemic is that while we all can be adversely affected, regardless of age, by this virus is especially dangerous to those who are older and those who already have underlying health conditions. For that reason, I am asking all of our congregation who are over the age of 70 to use great discretion as to whether you return at this time. We love you, we want you here, but we also want you here going forward as well. I feel like that our church has some very exciting days in its future, and we want you to be a part of that. But to do so, we want you to exercise extreme caution and discretion as to whether you return to church at this time. Nobody's going to talk about you. Nobody's going to criticize you for not coming. We understand the importance of this time and the importance of your safety and well-being. Please use your own discretion. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this, and I look forward to seeing you Sunday. May God bless you, may God bless your family, and may God bless our church. Thank you.